tonight we get to try another sample that was given to us by, I would say, arguably top three distillery. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Are you
Yeah,
calling distillery brand
top three brand
blender?
blender,
Top
jack of
blender.
all trades. Oh, definitely the top blender. Like nobody comes close anymore, I don't think. And that is our guys at Barrell Craft Spirits. So the new bottle. It is coming out in May. It'll probably be like the week after I release this video. Is their Mizunara finished bourbon? Try to see if there's anything special on the bottle. Nope, there's not. So this is a blend of anywhere from 6 to 14 years. Since six is the youngest, that's going to be the age statement on the front. But the great thing Barrel does, cue picture that I just put in, is list all your components and everything like that. So it's got some Indiana, some Tennessee, some Kentucky. I think those are like their three go-to states where they just make some amazing stuff that we've seen in the past. And it is 76 corn, 20 rye, and four malted barley. But what makes this bottle so special is after they blended it, they put it in Mizunara casks for a year and a half. And if you know anything about Mizunara, it's really old Japanese wood that makes it super delicate and adds these really cool sandalwood and other notes to the bourbon. But because it's incredibly old and difficult to work with, it usually makes the bourbon really, really expensive. I know Starlight has one, and it's a 4.5, 5 year old bourbon that is like $150. Rabbit Hole just announced today. They sent me an email. Hey, you want to buy our Mizunara cask? $1,500. And I was like, no, thank you, sir. So this
You
bottle
should
is
know
going to
that.
be, yes, I did. I choose to stay married. Though your basement would be a great place to sleep if I could transport my basement there. So, um, but this is going to come in right at $85, which I think is a great price point for this and makes it really hard to beat as far as Mizunara blends. So that's what we got.
Yeah. So this is like an extension. Geez, rewind. I don't know exactly when the release of Vantage was, but Vantage from Barrel Craft Spirits was a blend of their Mizunara cask, um,
French
French
oak and
and American oak. And so this is a component of Vantage, which we loved,
yeah,
um, particularly in the age of toasted bourbons. Vantage was gave you enough of the toast without overdoing it and still let the
yeah,
bourbon shine, which is honestly, I think what Barrel does with all of their finished products. They let the bourbon
yes,
shine and use the flavor barrels as the enhancing. So let's see if they've continued that trend or um,
yeah.
if this stands alone.
So on the nose, I get like fruity notes actually. So some lemon
Yeah, definitely like a little bright citrus. Just a little
and
light on the nose.
yeah, and then you can definitely tell it's not traditional oak. Like that it's you still smell the wood component, but it's different than a traditional toasted or oak barrel.
Are you still on the nose?
Yep, a little bit of sweet. It's a delicate nose. Highly recommend letting it open up for a while, but it's very delightful.
Definitely. Yeah. My first pour on this, yeah, it needed a good 15, 20 minutes, really.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah. But just to rounder out the nose here, other than I mean, I definitely get a little bit of wood and those fruit notes. Get a little bit of spice. It's like a little bit of a cardamom, which kind of plays off of the citrus, perhaps. Cardamom's always like a herbal citrus to me. Palate, take it away.
Yeah, so I get right off the bat like a lemon pound cake. So you get almost like a achy feel. I don't know exactly how to
You feel
describe it other than it tastes like that lemon pound cake that you get in pre-made Pillsbury Doughboy boxes or whatever they are, and you make um maybe almost a poppy seed cake on there. I don't know.
lemon
It's
poppy seed.
yeah, something like that because you get the sugary frosted notes because of the like almost confection sugar, and then you get the lemon. Uh, it's just so good. Drink this all day.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm maybe like the outside of the crust where it's like it was around the pan, and so you get
Hmm.
that little bit more of a crusted, burnt, not burnt, but baked notes. Like that's what's just saw a little bit of a drying sensation in the mouth as far as that the 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 wood finishing cask, the Mizunara. Um, Powerful,
Yeah.
not not overdone. Um, to me, it almost manifests itself, particularly as it goes into or into the finish. Still manifests itself as like a spice.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I mean, it coats, nice texture.
Yeah,
This is this is
I was
quite
gonna
good.
say it has a really good velvety mouth feel to it that just super oily and coats the entire mouth. And then yeah, on the finish, all those spices are starting to kick in, even a little bit of drying oak to it. Uh, but it definitely hits that jawline and just gives you so much robustness and flavor all the way through.
When we did the Vantage review, link the video above. Um, we did a more deep dive into Mizunara trees and like the history of some of
Yeah,
those casks. Mizunara's not it. The trees just don't like to grow straight,
right.
which makes it very difficult to make into to staves and barrels. Um,
Yeah, and I've heard
but
the
it does have a
barrels leak.
unique character. Yeah, I mean that too. Yeah, it's difficult to get barrels. Yeah,
Yeah,
which I think. I mean, you don't always get the how do I want to say this the transparency or visibility of other products. My
yeah,
guess is they're using not barrel, but some of those products are using staves or chips
yeah,
or cubes or whatever these days. Because that's going to be a lot easier to impart the flavors without having to make a barrel
right.
out of
Yeah,
something that's really difficult.
and I'm sure the barrels are more expensive than traditional barrels, and so and they only have so many uses to finish before it's done, and you have to give it to something else. So, but I don't know. Overall, this is an incredibly complex, delicious bourbon. Once again, they did amazing. Uh, the bourbon shines through, but you definitely get the Mizunara part, and it, it's a very fine line between overpowering and right there that somehow Barrel always does a really good job of skirting. And yeah, for 85 bucks, I think this is a heck of a steal.
Yes, yeah, I think this is $85 is a buy all day long. I think if you had blinded me, I probably wouldn't. We used to play those games. If is it finished? Is it not? Um, I don't know if I would have said this was finished because I could see a high angel share barrel that had low volume that would have that rich oak character that's pretty similar to this. It lacks barrel char. It's not that richness, but um, kind of that rich dark oak with a little bit of spice that I would have probably just said, yeah, that's just a straight, it's just a straight bourbon. Um, so to me, I think that's the beauty of this. Not it's quite different from the Ambarana finish that we reviewed more the recently. That you can really pick up the finishing barrel, but that's a very different finishing barrel. So I think this really appeases the palates both if you're just a straight bourbon lover, like man, this would be a great go-to. I think it's just an augmentation of really good whiskey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, Once again, Barrel, thank you so much for sending us the bottles. We greatly appreciate it and keep hitting things out of the park because this is just absolutely delicious. I guarantee you this is going to fly off the shelves. And if you see it, I would definitely buy one. I know I'm going to go buy it back up myself. I guess it'll be my first bottle, but I will definitely be purchasing uh, in the future. So,
Yeah, I think this is an early contender for going
oh,
in a
yeah,
best of list.
definitely. That and the Wilderness Trail. So, we're starting to get that list going. It'll be an
Yeah,
interesting year as always. I can hardly wait to see what comes out. So cheers and we'll see you next time.
stay neat.